forgot how Rotten Tomatoes works. Is that like high or low, which is good or bad?
Well, how do percentages work?
But like, is 40%, like, is a low percentage means good or a high percentage means?
How do percentages work?
It depends on the site.
No, this one is just how do percentages work, Julia.
Okay, if I...
Y'all, welcome to Post Finale. I'm your host, Ankit Madhira. I'm an actor and a singer who has not seen a lot of films, so to make my friends happy and potentially provide a new perspective on some popular films, I am on a quest to change that. I'm never on this quest alone, however. This week I am joined by my friend, an actress, a singer, and a physiology major, Julia Wheeler. Julia, welcome back. How you doing?
I am good.
It's been a whole, 10 minutes since we stopped the last recording.
I know, right? Well, those are a rough 10 minutes.
I know. We had to have a conversation and, like, hang out.
It was really hard for
and
me,
breathe.
Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Spending time with this guy.
Oi! You agreed to do this!
I just.
It's okay. I mean, like, if you watch the last episode, it goes both ways. So, like, fair. Wonderful. We're back, and we're finishing up our discussion this week on the 1993 classic Hocus Pocus. But before we get into it, Julia, I have a question for you. I always have a question for my guests. The first question is usually, hey, when did you see the movie? And so, I specifically didn't tell you about this question.
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
I love improv.
Uh-huh. You can do it. I believe in you.
Uh-huh.
If you were to play somebody in this film, who would you want to play?
Okay, well, I think if I were cast in the film, I would be cast as Sarah because I'm good at being a bimbo, I think.
You're good at acting like a bimbo, I would say.
Yeah!
You aren't a bimbo.
Well...
No. You're better than a bimbo.
Do not insult bimbos in my presence. I love bimbos.
I'm not saying that they're not human beings. I'm just saying you're not one on a daily basis.
Okay.
Take the compliment.
It's not a compliment. You're just making a statement. It's not a compliment to not be a bimbo. Girls support girls.
I can't win.
You can say I'm not a bimbo, but you don't have to insult them.
I'm not insulting them. They are lovely people.
And you're saying it's a compliment to not be one.
Fine. Just great. You would want to be Sarah, or
Yeah.
like is that no? That's who you would be cast as. Who would you want to be?
I want to be Sarah because I like her. I like the song that she sings. I think suits my voice the best.
She sings a song.
She sings "Come."
Oh, that. Yeah. Hey, if you want to sing that later in this episode.
Oh.
I have the lyrics.
I told you
have the
my
lyrics.
voice was tired.
No, you told me I'm sneezing, so
I did not say I'm sneezing. I said I feel kind of sick. But to me, that means my voice is tired.
Those were not the words that came out of your mouth.
I did not say I'm sneezing.
Fine, but like I will take the sick, but like I won't take my voice is tired.
When I'm sick, I usually means there's something wrong with my voice.
Well, then fine, whatever. We're here. This is going great, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chaos Ensued. So Sarah. Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I thought you would be cast as.
Yeah.
I was like, Julia, Sarah. Cool.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah. There are other friends that I think would be very good, mutual friends that I think would be very good in this movie.
Ooh, fan cast right now.
Huh?
Do a fan cast.
Friend cast? The fans don't know who they are. This could be like a bonus thing. Like, hey, if you log on to the Patreon and like sign up for one of the tiers, we'll do like a little bonus, maybe audio thing of like a friend cast of who should be who in what, in this movie specifically. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about Hocus Pocus. Shenanigans have happened, rules of magic don't exist, and the witches are back. Have I missed anything?
No.
Cool. So, where we are, we have Ice and Jay. Was his name Jay?
Oh, I don't know their names.
No. We're gonna call
Something
him
like
Jay.
The mean boys.
The bullies.
The bullies.
I remember one of them is named Ice because he had a whole bit about it.
Yeah.
And so I remember Ice. The long-haired one wasn't memorable in terms of names.
The blonde one.
The blonde one. The blonde one is just like, wanna smash some pumpkins? Nah. Wanna look through the window and watch some babes undressed? It's 3 a.m. They're undressed already. Yeah, cause that's the problem with that statement.
Yeah. But also, 3 a.m., some people are just getting back from parties.
Especially on Halloween night.
Exactly.
Like, you think people are not getting home from parties at 3 a.m.? The parents, still partying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, wrong logic.
Wrong logic. Don't go do this at 3 a.m.
No,
Like, no. That is not what we are saying. But like, logic, bad.
Yeah.
But good on Ice for saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good life choices. Now, they are about to get attacked by the witches, aren't they? Is what I say. And the witches show up, and I'm like, yep, there we go. And Mary smells his shoe because it used to have Max's scent to it. Apparently each child has their own scent, which makes sense. Each human being has their own scent. As has been explained in like multiple things in folklore. Not folklore, fantasy. Fantasy is the word I'm looking for. Jay, meanwhile, is what I'm gonna call him, or Blondie at this point, because I don't remember his name. Just goes, man, why is it always the ugly chicks that stay out late? And I was like, uh-oh, wrong thing to say. And it's like, oh look, they're now caught and in a cage.
Deserved.
Yeah, honestly, fair. Like, I'm not upset about this. I don't feel bad for them. Like, no. So, they don't have much time left, and they will have to make the potion from memory. Oh no, this is not going to go well, is it?
No.
No, of course not. Why could it? The boys apologize, they try to get themselves out, and they're like, well, you are really cute. Too little, too late. Don't be mean. Now, they try and trick, Winnie, So, they try to think, and Winnie thinks that she remembers. She was like, well, I was here, Mary was... So, they try to think, and Winnie remembers. And she's like, well, I was here, Mary was there, and Sarah was in the back dancing idiotically. Put some respect on Sarah's name.
I would be in the back dancing idiotically.
Look, I'm not saying that you wouldn't be, but I'm just saying put some respect on the name.
She said meaner things. I feel like that's pretty tame for Winifred.
That is true. Now, we do remember oil of boil, and then a dead man's nose. Sarah correctly remembers that it was the dead man's toes, but it's shushed. And then they're like thumbs, or gums, bums, or chungs. No, there's no such thing as chungs. They're doing great. They're doing fantastic.
That's how I feel when I'm taking exams.
That's how I feel when I'm taking an exam. I don't remember anything when I'm taking an exam. It's why I'm an actor. I just have to memorize a lot of words.
Well, a lot of exams is also memorizing.
Yeah, but I'm better at memorizing phrases and, like, lines than I am at, like, memorizing random facts.
Okay. The facts aren't random, but, you know, I see your point.
Well, I mean, like, sure, they're probably, like, important to whatever you're discussing. But is it really that important to know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, considering it's the only thing, like, I mainly remember about the cell?
I don't know, man. I don't really focus on things on the cellular level. I focus on different...
Look, I was just trying to be smart and using one of the few
sorry.
bioeffects that I remember.
Oh, yeah, the mitochondria. Yeah.
I mean,
Golgi
like...
apparatus or whatever.
Yeah. I do know other things about,
Yeah.
like, animals and, like...
Yeah. Sodium, potassium pump.
Yeah, I might have studied zoology if it was an option for me. But I don't know. I'm not disappointed with my life. Anyway, moving on. Animals, cool. So, that's the takeaway from this. Now, we're trying to remember, it's not going well. Winnie doesn't remember the ingredients and she needs her book. And Willie calls up to the world and she's like, book, come home or make thyself known. And so the book wakes up. Oh no! But so do Allison and Max. And Allison realizes that it's 5 a.m. and her parents are gonna kill her. And I was like, well, not if they were at City Hall, but then they were also throwing a party, so maybe?
Allison's parents, like, that party was real weird. I feel like, I don't know anything about Allison's parents, but I feel like they have their own stuff going on.
Yeah, they rich.
Very rich.
They rich. One of the few rich families.
Allison said earlier they're not even gonna notice that I'm gone, so.
Yeah. Neglected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl.
She deserves better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Max wishes that she could stay, and Allison smiles, and I was like, oh, she likes him. Now, they see Binks and wonder if there is anything that they can do to help him. Allison says the book, and I'm like, no, don't open the book. We've already had one stupid idiotic thing, and Binks literally told you not to open the book. Don't open the book. Now here's my prediction of what's going to happen. Obviously, they're going to do the dumb idiotic thing and open the book. The witches are going to know where they are because the book is open. There's going to be some type of tracking signal or something. And they're going to go get the book back, and then they're going to create the potion, but, you know, due to some tomfoolery, the kids are going to be able to, like, destroy the potion and save the bullies or save, like, the rest of the kids, or, you know, save the children as a whole from the witches. Binks, you know, the curse might be lifted and he might be able to be turned back into a human, or he might just, like, be able to be reunited with his family and his spirit is set free. Mm-hmm. Don't really know what's happening there, but I feel like there needs to be some resolution for Binks. I feel like it's unfair if Binks is just stuck as a cat.
Yeah, for eternity.
Yeah, there's gonna be some resolution. I don't know if it's how you now get to live in the 20th century and, like, live out the remainder of your life, or it's like you've lived for 300 years, your soul can just, like, move on. So I don't know what's going on there with Binks, but there's gonna be some sort of resolution. Now, I didn't see this one coming, but Max says that Binks told them not to open it.
Max can't make all the stupid decisions.
I didn't know that Max was capable of not making a stupid decision. Now, the witches are dead. What harm could it do? And I was like, oh, you dumb, naive little girl. Now, they hold hands and open the book, and a beautiful beam of light is calling the witches as a beacon. And I was like, well, there's that beacon that I was talking about like 30 seconds ago. Now, meanwhile, Winnie, lamenting, they're doomed. She feels like an icy breath of death upon her neck. And I was like, well, a bit traumatic much, aren't we? I mean, it's her entire character.
Yeah.
But, like, just a teensy bit traumatic.
I mean, if you were dying, I think that's a pretty good excuse to be dramatic.
I don't know, Sarah seems to be taking it pretty well.
I don't think Sarah's ever thought about her own mortality before.
Sarah just exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, she truly lives in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which
what
is
a girl.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a good time. It's a good way to live. Sometimes you gotta think about the future, but it's not fun. So moving on, Winnie is taken to the window. She wants to say goodbye, and she sees the light from the book and realizes that the stupid kids opened the book. Now the witches go and they grab 2 brooms, and poor Mary is left with a vacuum cleaner, which now also flies. Huh?
Witch magic.
Okay. Sure.
Magic.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus.
They've already said it twice in this film.
Yeah.
The first one, I let it go. The second one, it's a bit much.
The second one was Winifred saying it, and also she was not alive to hear Max say it, so she has no idea what she's referencing.
No. She's just saying the words Hocus Pocus. I'm just saying.
For dramatic effect.
It wasn't that dramatic.
Okay, well.
Was it?
Don't knock a girl's attempts.
It wasn't dramatic.
She's trying her best.
I just be better.
Okay. I'll go tell her that.
Yeah, please do. Mm-hmm. Not the actress, Winifred specifically.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Actress doing great work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Winifred, be better.
Cool, I'll call her up.
Please don't. I don't need to be put in a cage.
I'll call her up.
Julia! So, anyway, Allison finds that a circle of salt can protect thy victims from thy power. And I was like, well, the salt's gonna come into play very soon, isn't it? Now, Binks wakes up, jumps on the book, and closes the book. Tells the kids not to help him. Nothing good can come from the book. So they decide to go. Mom and Dad still aren't home. Still dancing till death. Very good. Lovely clip, just, confirming Mom and Dad still dancing to death. Now, Allison says that something isn't right. Would feel a lot safer walking home if they had some salt. So they find some salt. A circle of salt to protect from zombies, witches, and old boyfriends. And then you get Max and just goes, well, what about new boyfriends? Does this work?
Don't ask me!
I don't know!
You could try it.
Okay.
Next time a woman says that specific phrase, about a circle of salt protecting from old boyfriends. Yeah.
This man just, also is the one that stands up in front of the entire class and hands her his phone number.
Maybe she likes that he's desperate. Maybe she thinks it's cute.
She didn't earlier in the film because, she gave him the number back.
Maybe she thinks she's playing hard to get. Usually I don't like the trope of playing hard to get, but to me, everything, she seemed like she was kind of flirting with him the whole time.
Oh, no. She was 100% flirting with him the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that she wasn't. I'm just fascinated by apparently how easy it was to ask out a girl back in 1993.
Mm.
Or I'm just awkward.
I wouldn't know either. I've never asked out a girl.
Well, get on it.
Sure, I'll go find a girl.
Anyway, they are just about to kiss. And then crash. I know. No kissing.
So sad.
No kissing. They run back upstairs. They check on Danny. And they see that the book is gone. Oh no! And then they go to the bed and, oh look at it, Danny, it's Sarah. And Winnie and Mary are in the closet because it's not just 7-year-old girls that like to hide in closets, it's grown witches. Mm-hmm. And Winnie has the book and Mary has Danny and Binks. Winnie opens the book and then attacks Max with the book. You could have attacked Max without the book. You canonically have zip-zap powers, but you don't use them.
Maybe it's a recharge thing. You can only do it so often.
What, once a day?
Maybe.
Those are terrible powers.
I don't know, D&D rules. They got a long rest.
Be a better witch.
They got a long rest.
I feel like they should be more than a level 1.
They maybe dying reset them to level 1. Level 1 warlock or something. With really low intelligence. Intelligence is their dumb stat.
Which, if you're playing a warlock, intelligence should not be your dumb stat.
You don't really need intelligence for warlock.
Yeah, it's slightly important.
But it's not your spellcasting one.
No. It doesn't need to be your highest stat, but it shouldn't be your lowest stat.
I guess.
Yeah.
Strength should be your lowest stat.
Probably. Look, I'm currently playing a character where strength is the lowest stat. It's fantastic.
I play multiple characters where strength is...
Rar. The last character that I played, strength was the highest.
Yeah.
I was the battering ram.
I feel like either you have a high strength or you have no need for strength.
Oh yeah. It's one of the two. There's no in between. You never have
strength.
medium strength.
You don't need that.
No.
Unless you just roll really well and all your stats are medium.
Yes.
Anyways.
Anyway, because that can be a rabbit hole that we have opened multiple times between the two of us, but we probably don't need to open on this show. So that's for later. Now back to the movie. Sarah. Before we get to Sarah's glorious moment, they blast a hole in the roof and they take Danny. So the lyrics are, "Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of magic." Not the most lyrically sound song, I would say. But very effective in getting the children to show up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay!
Yay!
All the kids in Salem, except for Max and Allison, are lured by this music. Why are Max and Allison not lured by this music? They didn't cover their ears this time.
Maybe it's like a 13 and under thing.
There were kids that looked 15 walking through the
15
streets.
15 and under thing.
They're 15, 16.
Maybe they're 17. I don't know how old they are.
But they just say kids.
Yeah, but teenagers do not consider themselves kids.
That is true. That is true. We work with teenagers. Well, I work with teenagers.
Was a teenager, like...
No. We don't need to. No, we don't need to think about that. Fair, fine. Still is weird because rules are established and then rules are immediately broken.
At 13, I would say I did not consider myself a child anymore. I considered myself a teenager.
Okay. Fine. So teenagers are not kids?
When I was a teenager, I did not consider myself a kid.
But is it if they consider themselves a kid, or if the spell considers themselves a kid? And if the spell considers themselves a kid, what's the age limit on the spell? You see why I have issues?
Maybe it's whatever the age of consent was when 300 years ago, which I feel like was lower.
I feel like it didn't exist.
Yeah. Maybe like the age of marriage.
Also very hazy.
Yeah, but I was like pretty young, so anything below that.
Like what, 7?
I don't know. I was thinking like 12.
I would like to think that it was 12.
I'm not a history major.
I'm not either. I just know that child marriage was a thing.
Child marriage is still a thing.
I mean, it is, but like it is significantly less of a problem.
Yeah. Anyways.
Hi, as you can tell, I get annoyed a lot, ladies and gentlemen. So,
I have that effect on people.
it's not you, it's the movie. I mean, it's partially you. Allison figures out that unless they can steal the lives of the children, when the sun comes up, they are dust. And she's like, okay, how do we make the sun come up? They've got Danny, we need a miracle. And I was like, a miracle you will have. I don't know what the miracle is, but they're gonna have some sort of miracle because the 3 kids can't die. Like, that's the way that this works. If anyone's dying, it's Binks, and he's gonna be reunited with his family. Now, the children are coming slowly, and they are making the potion. Meanwhile, Danny is tied up, and Binks is in a bag. At least put him in a cage. Let the cat breathe.
Those witches do not respect that cat boy.
Oh.
Thackeray Binks.
Thackeray Binks.
Thackeray Binks.
He deserves better.
Yeah.
So, Danny says, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you soldier's soul, you're the ugliest thing that's ever lived and you know it. And I was like, sound off, Danny. This is one of the few times I am okay with you being sassy.
I've always been okay with her being sassy.
Okay, let's rephrase this. I'm okay with her being sassy. Stop being mean to your brother.
They're siblings. It happens.
Again, I'm not saying that it doesn't. Stop announcing to the entire world that he's a virgin.
Yeah. Not the nicest, but it's pretty funny.
Hilarious. Be kinder. He's trying to save your life currently.
Well, who put her life in danger?
The virgin.
Yeah, the virgin.
So, Winnie finishes the potion and is just like, you die first. And, you know, she finishes the potion. Max and Allison get to the Sanderson house. Binks tells Danny not to drink it. Danny bites Mary, and just before they force the potion down Danny's throat, Max bursts in. With a fairly calm opening presence of the door, like he just kind of like glides in of like, hello, like no, you are going to stop this. It's not like a, you know, I'm here to save them, burst door open moment. It's more of like a, hi, sorry, I didn't like, no, you're not gonna do that. It's very calm.
No, you don't gotta do that. No, stop.
Yeah, and the line is also fantastic because he just goes, prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
Again.
Again.
Are you just gonna copy me this entire time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, he has no weapon, nothing, not even salt.
Shame.
At least bring the salt.
Did Allison teach him nothing?
Obviously. He's not an intelligent human.
No one is.
No. I was about to say Allison is, but she's the dumb one that opened the book, so like she's gone.
Binks is the smart one.
Yeah, and he's an intelligent cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying his best. Now, here is a question, and I asked, like, my previous guest about this as well. If Binks could talk, why didn't he talk to his dad?
I think they would have killed him. This is like witch hunting era.
But, like, it's not his fault!
Yeah, but I think witch hunting era, they would have killed their kids. If they thought they were witches or anything.
He's not a witch, he's just a cute little
Yeah, but if you see a talking cat in that era, you're gonna kill the cat.
If I see a talking cat right now, I'm confused, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, but this is not now. This is, I don't know, like Puritan guy seeing a talking cat.
1693, the Salem Witch Trials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would kill the cat.
Okay.
Also, maybe Binks didn't know how to talk at that point. Maybe Binks was like, had to adjust to having a new body.
It took Binks some time to talk before Binks was in talking form.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Valid answer. So, Winnie calls him a fool and tells him that he has no powers here. Blondie is happy to see Hollywood, and I'm like, shut up, Blondie. Now, Max agrees that there is one thing greater than power, knowledge. And there is one thing that he knows that she doesn't. And I love the mocking from Winnie here when she's like, and what is that, dude? And he just goes, daylight savings time. And this is where I got absolutely pissed, and I will hand you my tablet so you can read these notes, but they are in full caps, going, are you f***ing kidding me? Is that the MacGuffin of this whole plot? I wanted tomfoolery, and I'm not lying when I say that they are in all caps.
I think it's a good bit.
I was going to be so mad if that is the way that the witches died.
I guess. It's a little
I was gonna be
underwhelming.
so upset. I appreciate the bit for what they do with it.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I didn't know what the bit was. And I was furious.
Well,
Luckily, we learned that it's a bit. And the headlights of the car turn on to trick them into thinking that it's the sun. Here's my question. How did Allison hear him? It isn't like he's talking very loudly.
I don't know. Good hearing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the only answer I have.
Just good hearing. Good hearing.
hearing.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Nothing else. No. Okay. So, good hearing, I guess, is what works out there. Max frees Danny and Binks and takes his shoes back from ice and spills the potion so that they can't use it. He leaves the bullies in the cage, though, and honestly, fair.
I would too.
I would. I'd just be like, see ya.
Bye. I'm not wasting my time finding a key for them.
No.
I have a sister to save.
This sounds like a lot of work.
And a girl to woo.
And did you say a girl to boo?
A woo.
Oh,
a girl
woo.
to woo.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the cat not get any love in this situation?
And the cat's freed from a curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are more important than bullies.
I mean, like, you know, I feel like you just really lackluster there on the cat, but like, fine.
They don't. The cats. I don't think they knew. They don't know what's gonna happen with the cat. They don't know how helping, like, killing the witches is gonna help the cat.
They don't know. They just know that they gotta save them all.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Danny says that she wants to see them turn to dust. Danny, you dumb one. It's a trick. Get out of there.
She's 7.
I thought she's 8.
She's 8.
She might be 7. I don't know.
I feel like I remember her being 7. But I could be wrong.
Ah.
Or 7.5.
Sure. The half is very important at that age.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Allison at the car gesturing to come. Hilarious. Fantastic. Wonderful bit of physical comedy. Now, they get in the car and they drive away. And we're going to take a quick intermission before we finish off the rest of the movie. Hello everyone, I hope you are all enjoying this episode of Post Finale. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and if you enjoy the episode and you are having a good time, please make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube, and hit that like button, and please be sure to follow the show if you're listening on any other app like Spotify, Apple Music, etc. It doesn't matter where you're listening for us, it just means so much that you are listening to this episode, and thank you all so much. It really does help out the show and the channel, so thank you all very much for tuning in. Now, if you are enjoying the content and you want to gain access to more content, you can do so by signing up for our Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, we have an update for our patrons, and the update is that Lucy Sadler, thank you so much for upgrading to production manager. It really means a lot to us. Thank you so much. And for anyone else that wants to sign up, gain access to bonus content, you can see tier lists, you can see notes that we have, some bonus videos, some bonus audios, different things like that. You can suggest films that we do. All sorts of things like that can be found on our Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/coopforge. So that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. And thank you so much to anyone who is even considering this. It really does help us out a lot, and thank you. Now, be sure to also follow us on social media for Post Finale. You can find us at Post Finale Pod on Instagram and Facebook, and you can also follow Co-op Forge, where we post a lot of content as well, not just about Post Finale, but for all the shows that we host here on Co-op Forge. So that includes Seattle Across the Pond, and that includes Flip the Scripts. So if you want to follow that one on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, it is at Co-op Forge, so at CO_OPFORGE. And it really does help. The best way to help the show in a non-monetary way, if you want to do that too, is just to talk about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to help grow the show. Just reach out to a friend and be like, hey, you love films, or hey, I know that you need a reason to watch more films. Check out this show where the host is an actor who hasn't seen anything and he's confused most of the time on what's going on. It's silly. It's a fun time. He's really humble. It's a fun, great way to help the show grow. And talk about us on social media. It really, really does help. Thank you all so much to anyone who has done this in the past, anyone who will do this in the future. It really does mean the world to us. But that's enough of me rambling on. Once again, if you want to follow us on social media, it's at Post Finale Pod and at Co-op Forge, CO_OPFORGE. And if you want to sign up for the Patreon, again, there is zero pressure to do so. Listening to the show means so much to us. But if you want to do that, it can be found at patreon.com/coopforge. So that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. And let's get back to the show. So, we're back. The kids have just driven away. And the sisters realize that they aren't dust and that they have been tricked again. And I'm like, well, I mean, like, fair. You're not the brightest witches. But you are fun witches, and I appreciate you. So thank you. Now, the candle is almost out. And there is just enough left of the potion for one child. And all the children are arriving. And Sarah points out, she's just like, we have a child. And I love that both of the bullies just go, him, and point at the other one. And I'm just like, yes, perfect, lovely, this is fantastic. Like, just great bit of writing right there.
Yeah.
Like, really good. And so Winnie is just like, oh, there are more children arriving. And then I was just like, the tomfoolery is that they are going to turn to dust because Winnie is going to say that it has to be Danny, doesn't it? Because Danny made fun of Winnie, so she ain't satisfied with just any old child and then taking revenge on Winnie later. No. That would be too logical of a thought process. It's gotta be Danny that we kill first.
Yep. Good prediction.
Thanks. It's almost like I do storytelling for a living.
Whoa, what?
I know, right?
I did not know that.
It's a wild concept. Including my music, which is actually, shameless plug, but you're already listening to my podcast. So, like, I feel like I can't shameless plug. If you're listening to this, I think by the time this episode is out, a new song's gonna be out, so go check it out. It's my name. Anyway, back to this. So they are going to be turning to dust because of that, and Sarah's just like, well, we can make more of the potion, and Winnie says that they have to get the rat-faced brat that called her, and she can't say it, and Sarah just, ugly? I love Sarah. Sarah's my favorite of all three of them.
I thought you said Mary was.
Okay. Mary's my favorite in terms of, like, just the vibe.
Okay.
Sarah's just, like, the more unhinged one, and she's become my favorite. So, like, Mary was my favorite.
Alright.
But now it's Sarah.
Now it's Sarah.
Look, I'm watching this for the first time. It was Mary in the last episode, and you're not wrong. It was, because Mary had more to do. And Mary was just more unhinged and having some fun and a little more down to earth. But then, like, Sarah, just like in the last bit of the movie, is just like up the ante.
I love Sarah.
Sarah's fantastic. I know that everyone like really likes Winnie, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Like,
I love them all.
I love all three of them, but like, if I had to pick, Sarah.
Would not be a proper trio without all three.
No. They wouldn't succeed.
It would not be as funny without all three.
No. So Winnie starts crying, and she's like, she doesn't even know me, she's just jealous, she's just saying this to hurt my feelings. And Max is like, are they following me? And he's like, and Allison just goes, no. And I'm like, yes they are. And oh look, it's Winnie at the window. And then she grabs Max, because for some reason he's driving with an open window.
That got me. I was like, why is your window down if you think you're being chased?
Right, two things. One, you think you're being chased, why is your window down? Two, we are in Salem, Massachusetts on October 31st, and you are speeding down the road. This is not the weather one would have a window all the way down in.
I don't know anything about the weather in Salem, but I would agree.
I don't know anything about the weather in Salem, Massachusetts, but I have a general understanding of, like, you know, Massachusetts and where it is geography-wise. Geographically, that's the term I'm looking for. Have a basic understanding of where that is, and, you know, I feel like you wouldn't have your window down.
I certainly wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Just doesn't make any sense. But she grabs him, and, you know, he manages to knock her away, and they make it back to the cemetery and run straight into Billy. Now, Max tells Danny to run, and Winnie tells Billy to kill him if he must. Just bring her Danny. Now, Billy grabs Max, uses Max's knife, and cuts open the stitches in his mouth. And I was like, oh, does Billy speak and tell Winnie to go to hell? Not quite, but close. He calls her a wench, a trollop, you buck-tooth, mock-riding firefly from hell. So hell wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, Billy, go off. Max, understandably, very surprised about what in the world is going on. Billy tells Max that he's waited centuries to say that, and Max just goes, yeah, say what you want, man, just don't breathe on me.
Yeah. I also wonder if Billy, like, there was nothing that changed here, so why was Billy chasing the kids the whole time? Did he just know that Max had a knife and really needed to get his stitches out?
I guess.
Let's
go with that.
Sure.
I don't have an answer, but now that you've brought it up, it bothers me too.
Yeah, no, because why was Billy following Winnie's orders the whole time?
Yeah.
That whole thing, I just really wanted something to, like, shift there. Like, we need to say something really demeaning, and then he's like, hold on, why am I doing this?
Well,
why
I mean, like, he did kind of have that sassy of, like, fine, I guess I'll go do this, but, like, why? Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I feel like there should have been just, like, one more thing to set him off being like, I don't know why I'm following your orders, you buck-tooth, mock-riding, whatever it was.
And maybe he did that and we just missed it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe it happened right as like the whole like grabbing sequence was happening.
I don't remember.
And maybe the actor did it and it got cut.
That'd be so sad.
I would be heartbroken.
Yeah.
But we're not the editors.
No. We're the actors.
No. We weren't even thoughts at that time in life.
I wasn't born.
Neither was I.
No way.
Yeah. Anyway, Billy takes Max, and Max explains that, hey, Billy's a good zombie. So they get in the salt, they make a circle around Danny, and they spread out, and Billy is told to protect Danny. Max tries to jump to hit Winnie with the bat, but Winnie grabs the bat and starts chasing him. And Allison jumps out, she gets Sarah with the salt. Oh no! Winnie tries to zap Danny, but hits a tree instead, and Billy says, "Go to hell!" And I was like, oh, I did get it right! It was just slightly later than I thought. Winnie, with a fantastic response, just goes, "Oh, I've been there, thank you. I found it quite lovely." Of course you did. Now Winnie flies down to attack and knocks off Billy's head. Danny leaves the salt circle to help him because she is an unintelligent child who does not know that salt is the reason that she is safe. Allison is out of salt. Oh no. Now, Winnie advances on Danny and grabs her. Binks heroically runs up a tree, jumps, and causes Winnie to drop the vial, which Max catches. Binks is then flung over and hits a rock. Again, if Binks doesn't either get happy reuniting with his family at the end of this, at this point, if he just doesn't get that, I'm gonna be pissed. Or he needs to come back to life. But it should probably be like, hey, now that they've made it explicitly clear that we've hit a rock, it should probably be like, he gets to reunite with his family, is what I'm thinking. Now, Max tells Winnie to let go of Danny or I'll smash it, and, Winnie's just like, smash it, and she dies. And I'm like, well, we seem to have an impasse.
And then Max drinks it. For some reason.
Didn't see that one coming.
I feel like if I was Max, I would stay at the impasse because they're on a time limit. You're not.
Yeah.
If she kills Danny, okay, you have the vial. They also die. I mean, that sucks, but you were assuming that I feel like you have more power here. Because they're on the time limit.
Yeah, he forgot the time limit.
Like, you don't have to do anything. Just wait there, see what's gonna happen.
No. Drink potion that can actively take my life away.
Yeah. Because also, that doesn't make them not have power. She could still kill Danny. She just hates Danny. Like, if she wants to kill Danny, she's just gonna kill Danny.
I agree. He's not the brightest.
Yeah.
But this has been established.
Yes, of course.
Now, I don't get it. Max is really just flying in from left field over here. Just no semblance of a plan, flying by the seat of his pants, drinking potions that can give up your life. Now, Max says, you have no choice, it has to be him. Well, it doesn't have to be, she can still kill Danny, as we've just processed. But, and then Winnie's like, what a fool to give up thy life for thy sisters. She grabs Mac, and he starts glowing, as one who drinks magical potion does. They struggle on the broom for a bit, and Mary says that she is coming, but the others grab the cord of the vacuum cleaner to stop her. Now, Mary calls out to Sarah, who comes over to try and help, and then I was like, oh look, the actual sun is starting to come up. They let go of the cord. Sarah and Mary fly straight up. Now, I know you're more on the biology side of things. That's not how physics works, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Physics, also not a thing in this movie.
Yeah.
They literally just keep going straight up. And last I checked, they were in charge of their brooms.
But they are magical brooms, so I feel like the laws of physics don't have to.
Sure, but why wouldn't you just reposition your broom? Or vacuum? Uh-huh.
Why sacrifice thy life for thy sisters?
'Cause Max is dumb.
No, but I'm just thinking
Not
parallel
saying that
wise.
you like shouldn't like save your sister's life, but like
I'm just thinking parallel wise with them both trying to help Winnie. I think that would have been really interesting to hear them, like, see them react to that comment.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the physics of them letting go of the vacuum and then the two of them just floating upward for the rest of the film doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Physics, not a thing. Now, meanwhile, Winnie and Max, they fall onto the hallowed ground. And Winnie seems fine, which that pissed me off. I was like, then what was the point of the hallowed ground this entire time? Like, why couldn't they just step there, grab the kid, leave? Like, what? Like, what's going on? And then she runs over, grabs Max, and starts sucking out his life force, because apparently hallowed ground means nothing. But then the sun starts to come up even more, and it turns her into stone, and the last word that she utters is book, and then she's a stone statue. Sarah and Mary, on the other hand, explode, and then Winnie explodes as well. So it's just really delayed reaction of the hallowed ground?
That's what I was thinking, but it wasn't very clear.
Dude, a lot of rules in this movie have not been clear.
But also, whatever. Silly, fun, campy movie.
Look, it's very fun, but like, if we've learned anything on this show, it's that I nitpick.
Nitpicking is also fun.
Nitpicking's very entertaining. It's what I did when we watched the Twilight movie together. Yeah.
Twilight's very fun to nitpick.
Y'all made me do that one. Oh, friends, if you haven't listened to Flip the Scripts, if we hit, I think it was 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we're going to cover Twilight as a series on Flip the Scripts for adaptations, so go check that out. Anyway, back to this. So, Binks meows sadly after this, and I was like, aw, Binks is hurt. Oh no. He better get his happy reunion with his sister. Now, they realize what has happened, and Danny asks if he's okay. He is, and he had to, save her. She's asking Max, by the way, not Binks, if that was not clear. He's like, I had to. I'm your big brother. And she's like, I love you, jerkface. I love you too. Aw, such a sweet, tender moment between siblings.
I love them. I think their relationship is adorable.
Their relationship is fantastic.
They make me so happy.
Yeah. It is a really fun relationship. Now, Billy heads back to his grave, and they start looking for Binks, and they see that he has died. And Danny is hurt because Binks can't die. And apparently in my notes, I wrote XXAN:'T die. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I think you were reacting the same way as Danny, man. I think that's what she was thinking.
So, we hear Binks' voice, and I was like, oh yay, he's a boy again. He's kind of like this ghostly appearance boy, but like they can see him. And he tells her not to be sad for him. The witches are dead, and his soul is finally free. Danny has freed him. Binks thanks Max for lighting the candle. Didn't you reprimand him for this earlier, Binks?
Yeah, but things have changed.
Things have changed.
Character development.
I know. It's a wild concept. Now, we see Ghost Emily, and he goes to rejoin his sister and his family, but before he does, he tells Danny that he shall always be with her. And Emily asks, what took you so long? And Binks is just like, I'm sorry, Emily. I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle. Really, this movie is like hitting home that he is a virgin.
It's okay, it probably changed pretty soon after the movie.
Yeah, based on how this ended. Allison and the Yabos.
Those Yabos.
Yabos. They probably changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, he then goes off, and we get the beautiful end, and then as the credits start to roll, the adults are all finally leaving City Hall. Meanwhile, the bullies are singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat in a round, sitting in their cages. I love that they're singing it in a round and not just singing it. Like, it has to be in a round.
Mm-hmm.
And then we pan to see the book. It opens its eye, and the movie ends.
Roll credits.
Woo! Now, that is the end of the movie. I always rate the movie and then I have some fun facts about it. But very fun film. So glad that I watched this. So glad that you told me to watch this.
Yay!
Like, definitely a film that I will probably watch in October, maybe, because we did watch it quite early on this year.
Oh, it already feels like fall to me. I had all my fall snacks around me.
Okay.
All the stuff is out on Trader Joe's.
I mean, I've already had pumpkin pie this year, so.
I've had lots of pumpkin cake and pumpkin cookies and pumpkin trail mix and yeah.
Pumpkin trail mix.
It's from Target.
Ooh.
Pumpkin spice trail.
Hey, Target disappointed us the last time we were at Target.
Yeah, and guess what? That place was still closed when I went the other time. I've like not seen it open. I've been to Target multiple times since, and the Pizza Hut has been closed every single time.
Well, they're trying to tell you something.
Not to have Pizza Hut?
No, that they're closed.
Oh.
I'm not here to give you helpful hints. Alright, what would you rate this movie?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yes.
Okay. Probably a dumb question to ask. I had to.
All the plot holes are forgiven because I think it's funny.
I think, okay, if I'm just viewing it as a fun, sit down, no nonsense, let's sit down and have a good time movie, 10 out of 10. If I am coming at it from an actual critic's point of view, I'd probably say like a 7.
Yeah, I agree.
I can forgive a lot of the plot holes because it's not trying to be a serious film.
It's trying
and
to
the
be fun.
style of film that it is, I'll give it a 7. If I'm coming at it from like a critic's side of things.
It's trying to be a comedy, and it is definitely a comedy.
Oh, it nails that. I was laughing throughout. Yeah, very, very good time. Now, some fun facts about this, and I don't know if you know this stuff.
Probably not.
So the budget was $28 million US dollars, and the box office was $50.8 million US dollars.
That's
So,
less than I thought.
oh yeah, it was a box office flop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they also released it in July.
Well, dang. Yeah, that'll do it. Why would they release a Halloween?
I don't know. But they released it in July. Right? So, sure. End of July they released it, but you know, box office flop, but apparently like it got a lot of money because it became a cult classic, VHS and DVD rentals, and then it was like aired on Disney, aired on ABC, aired on, you know, all of these different networks during the Halloween fall season. So, you know, that's how it made a lot of money on the back end. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, the critics rated it a 40%, which I feel is a bit harsh.
I forgot how Rotten Tomatoes works. Is that like high or low, which is good or bad?
Well, how do percentages work?
But like, is 40%, like, is low a low percentage means good, or a high percentage means?
How do percentages work?
It depends on the site.
No, this one is just how do percentages work, Julia.
Okay, if I'm thinking percentages, I would say a high percentage means good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how percentages work.
I'm just double checking. Because I feel like some sites are different.
Not movie rating websites.
Well, I don't know.
You're thinking of golf. That's a sport.
I've never played golf.
I never said you played it. I just said you're thinking about it.
Okay, well, I don't know why I would think about it. I don't want to think about golf either.
I don't know, but like low is rarely good.
I don't know. Maybe it's rating on the amount of flaws. It's called Rotten Tomatoes. 100% of Rotten Tomatoes feels like a bad thing.
That is true. That is very valid.
Anyways, I also think that's harsh.
Yeah, I feel like 40% is quite harsh. The audience score is 72%.
Okay.
So, more understanding. IMDb, 6.9 out of 10.
Okay.
So what we agreed,
okay.
what we agreed with the 7 for the critics, and you know, like fair, like you know, I feel like that's a fair rating for this film for what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's not gonna be a film that's gonna be rated 10 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
But again, if you're looking at it as I want tomfoolery, silly film to just throw on and have some fun, 10 out of 10 movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it won 2 awards across 11 different nominations. But the 2 awards that we won were at the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films USA Best Costumes to Mary E. Vogt. V-O-G-T. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I'm sorry for butchering it. Well done, Mary. And Young Artists Award. Best Youth Actress Leading Role in a Motion Picture Comedy for Thora Birch.
Is that Danny?
I believe that is Danny.
Oh, she was lovely.
And she deserved that. And I did not just drop my tablet. I didn't. I caught it.
No, she was hilarious. There was never a time where I was like, on like her acting. I was totally immersed.
You did it. As child actors go, she did great.
Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of movies where I'm like, that child is not emoting.
Yes.
You teach kids acting, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
she was amazing.
I mean, hey, we finished this recording and I'm gonna go teach an acting class and be like, great! I guess we're learning about emotions.
Let her be an example.
Again! For like the third week in a row. No, it's week 2. For the second week in a row.
Yay!
I feel like this is gonna be the first 6 months and you're gonna keep hearing about it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wait, the classes are 6 months?
No, I did 6 weeks. Months is just the first thing that popped into my head. The classes are only like 11 weeks long.
Very different time spans.
Just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that is the end of our episode. Julia, thank you so much for joining. Is there anything you want to tell the people before we
Go watch Hocus Pocus. It's so funny. I love the film so much. And have a lovely Halloween and fall.
Yeah! Wonderful. Thank you all very much for listening. If you've gotten this far, hit like, subscribe, I don't know, do the things. It's very much appreciated. It tells us that we're doing something right, and if you want, like, reach out to us, we'll respond. We're generally nice people. So
I am not a celebrity.
Neither am I. I'm just someone who does this for fun, and I would love to not be in the red while I'm doing this. That's my entire goal here.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah! But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to join us next week as we are going to jump into a very different type of film. We are not going to be talking about campy Halloween movies, but instead, arguably one of the best films ever made from what I've heard from people, because starting next week, we are going to be looking at Gladiator. So be sure to tune in for that. I can't wait to dive into it and learn more about it. I know very little about it, but until then, I'll catch y'all later. Cool. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale. Post Finale is created, hosted, and produced by me, Ankit Madhira. Our editor is Pranav Nair. The music is by Ankit Madhira and Megan Hutchison, and the art is by Jarid Rother. If you are all enjoying this episode and want to gain access to more bonus content, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/coopforge and signing up for any of the tiers. You get loads of different bonus content, such as notes and commentary that we have as we're watching the films, as well as some bonus audio, some bonus videos, and ad-free episodes, early access if we get them done early, and different things like that. All of that can be found at patreon.com/coopforge, and that's patreon.com/co_opforge. If you want to help out the show in a non-monetary way, that's great as well. Tell a friend about the show. Just reach out and be like, hey, you love films, or hey, you need an excuse to watch some more films. Check out the show called Post Finale. The host is an actor, and he's funny and silly, confused most of the time, but they have interesting discussions about some popular films that I think you would really enjoy. It really does help us out a lot. Be sure to talk about us on social media at Post Finale Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also follow us at CoOpForge, that's CO_OPFORGE, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And there we post content not just from Post Finale, but also from the other shows hosted here on Co-op Forge, which are Flip the Scripts and Seattle Across the Pond. So a lot of fun things can be found over there on our social media. It really, really does help us out a lot. Thank you to everyone who has already done this. Thank you to everyone who will do this in the future. It really does mean a lot to us, and it helps us create better content for for you, the listeners, as we grow. It really does help. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale. And I can't wait until next week. And until then, I'll catch y'all later.